Yo, what's up, guys? Quick live stream. Let's hit some bets. So, without further ado, we can kind of look through the market. We got some interesting lines up. Taysom Hill over under half of a passing yard. So, there's some different lines up, some NFL plays popping up as well. So, why don't we take a look? And then it looks like Saquon is back this weekend, much needed for the Giants. So we can kind of take a look at, all these plays, try to lock in some picks. But where do we want to start? That's always the question. And I'll try to keep this live stream tight. So maybe we start right here on ParlayPlay. So ParlayPlay, again, it's a platform. It kind of works like PrizePicks. They have pretty low betting limits, only $60 max bet size. But there's some good bets on ParlayPlay. Damn, we got lines moving left and right. So we can pull up everything and just kind of take a look here. So this is kind of interesting, right? Jalen Hurts. So we'll take a look at this play here in a second. But anyways, what I was going to say is about ParlayPlay. Only $60 max bet sizes. It's a parlay-only website, ParlayPlay. Up $7,000 in profit. You can see right here. Been using it for a few months now. So what we can do is the first play that looks halfway decent is Jalen Hurts, right? So not a ton of books have, passing yard lines up yet. But you can see like FanDuel has the line at 244.5, Vivid Picks at 248.5. So the other sports books have the line lower, right? So we're following these market data points. FanDuel, it's a $10 billion company. They're pretty good at setting lines. So all OddsJam is doing is kind of like pointing out discrepancies in the market, helping you find value, and obviously finding value, finding an edge. That's what's going to help us win long term. So the first play we want is Hurts under 258.5. FanDuel's 14 yards lower. Next play we can go to is Jenkins under 5.5, over 5.5. I apologize. Tackles plus assists. So a lot of people will say stuff like, you're not considering the lineups. You're not considering historical data. You're not considering how Jenkins played last game. But that's all baked into the market, right? That's all baked into the odds that sportsbooks are putting out. So if you take a look right here, we don't want to bet on the MLB. We want to bet on football. So if we go over here to, you can see like Caesars Sportsbook, they have Jenkins heavily favored. He's a big favorite, minus 148 odds. Pretty big favorite to go over. So again, like everything is baked into the market. Lineups, injuries, is Trevor Lawrence good to go or not? It's all priced into the odds, kind of the same way. If a company makes a lot of money and they have a good earnings report, the stock goes up. It's reflected in the market. It's the same thing here. Every single sports book, all these different bookmakers we have, all these different data points, you're going to see they all have Jenkins, our boy Jenkins, heavily favored to go over 5.5 tackles plus assists. Flip, minus 145. All these books have sophisticated models, they're taking bets, moving around lines based on where action's coming in. So we're just following, the data. Pretty simple. So anyways, next we have Metcalf under and receiving yards. So this play looks a little more clear cut. It looks like more sports books have lines out for Metcalf. So you can see all the books have his line at 60.5. It's like, what is ParlayPlay doing? We're creating our own discounts, creating our own Taco Tuesday, however you want to think about it. And what's nice about ParlayPlay is every single day you can do this promo. You can bump the line in your favor. So, whatever, we can get Hurts under 263.5, add 5 yards of value. That's a promo. You can select your own, player to do this with every day. But again, like ParlayPlay, they give you the same damn payout if you take his over or his under. So the reason the under is the sharp pick, the pick we want to be on, is first of all, every sportsbook has his line lower at 60.5. And you can see Penny or Pinnacle, which is known to be one of the smartest, one of the sharpest sports books. They have his line at 60.5 with the under heavily favored. They have the under all the way at minus 144. And the line is 6 yards lower. So again, the data never lies long term. That's what I'm going to take. All $7,000 of profit on ParlayPlay. Never just placed a bet, I'm just going to bet this shit. Like, never. Dean Patterson, under 37.5. Here we got a little college football play. All the other books have his line at 32.5. So I'm trying to move quickly, you know. These books will bump the best line. So here we have Marquise Brown, but this plays in the same game, right? This plays in the same, like, Marquise Brown is in the game, you know, with DK Metcalf. So I'm not really sure if it makes sense to take receiving yards under for players on opposing teams. So what we can do is we can, like, you can make a little same game parlay. So if we go to like receiving yards, right, we have Michael Thomas of the Saints. And then if we take like Christian Kirk under Calvin Ridley, it's like, okay, like, you know, are these things positively correlated? Under. So maybe they are a little positively correlated, plus 228. So you can kind of play around with FanDuel because FanDuel prices in correlation. You can see they give you a worse payout if you take receivers on opposing teams, both to go under together. So this play actually seems pretty good. So it seems like ParlayPlay, they're releasing NFL lines, and there's just a lot of value in the market. We want a 6-pick uninsured entry, 40x payout. We hit last week. We hit a 40x payout, and we had a couple close calls as well. And there we go. We got 60 to win 2,400 on ParlayPlay. So it's like, okay, then it turns red. Shit in red isn't profitable, not big discrepancies. So it's like, okay, like we kind of cleared out the board on ParlayPlay. Not much value on Jock Market. Underdog, not a ton of value. Only 2 plays I can see. So I just kind of like bounce around from sportsbook to sportsbook. So you can see like arbitrage bets here. Again, arbitrage is a cool strategy. Depending on the books you use, you know, there may be really good arbitrage bets, not as good. I don't know. Arbitrage is, you know, when these sports books, when their lines get so out of sync that you can bet equal and opposite outcomes on 2 sports books and make a risk-free profit. So like here's this play between, you know, Flip and PointsBet. You can make a risk-free $20 if you put $100, right? You're kind of like day trading. All these books set lines independently. They all have their own odds. So when they get super out of sync, hit Minnesota minus 8.5 on Flip, Iowa plus 8.5 on PointsBet, make a risk-free profit. What's better than that? Risk-free money. Not much is better than that. But you can see there's not a ton of arbitrage bets right now. I mean, there's some on PointsBet, but, you know, that's obviously not a sports book legal in a ton of states. So I try not to focus on it, you know, too much in these live streams. But anyways, lines have been moving, it looks like, towards USC. So again, everything's baked into the market. Lineups, like a lot of people, like sportsbook odds aren't static. You know, like if you look at the Saints game on Trevor Lawrence potentially being injured, you can see like lines initially ripped towards the Saints. They went down to minus 170 on Caesars. And then it's like, oh, we think Trevor Lawrence is good to go. Now they're only minus 120 favorites. So the market's always lineups, weather, sharp action, where, you know, Caesars knows which of its customers are the most profitable, right? So if they see action from all their sharp customers coming in on the Saints, they'll move line towards the Saints. Everything's baked into the market. So, anyways, let's go to PrizePicks quick. Why not? So there's some decent plays on PrizePicks. You can also see there's some touchdown bets that I like. So I'm a fan of these touchdown bets. So if we go here, we can see like, you know, Travis, he's heavily favored to not score a touchdown, right? Like minus 150s across the board, right? You can kind of look at his last 5 games. He scored in the past 2 games. The previous games he didn't. So like maybe you want to, you know, but like, again, everything's baked into the market. Lineups, the Saints defense, anything the coach said, weather, all that crap baked into the market. And all the books, like every single sports book that has lines posted for this game, they have as under, super heavily favored. Pinnacle, known to be the sharpest bookmaker, they have them all the way down at minus 154. So we can look at like Saquon, Jacobs. I mean, we can look at some other sports books. Because again, like the strategy is pretty simple. So Saquon's favored to not score a touchdown as well. So this is going to be a little fade parlay. So Saquon's favored to not score a touchdown. Josh Jacobs, there's no value, right? He's actually slightly favored, only slightly though, to score a touchdown. Again, like this is the reason this is the strategy for beating PrizePicks is they give you the same payout if you take the over or the under. If we take Saquon to score or to not score, we're getting the same 3x payout. So the reason we want to take the under for Saquon, Travis, is, they're heavily favored to not score a touchdown. Although this play on Travis is better, the sportsbooks have him as a minus 150 favorite to not score, so a bigger favorite than, let's say, Saquon, who's only like minus 140 to not score, but still seems like a good play to go with, both of them. And then we can look at Walker and Hill. Walker has screwed us in a lot of games. He's actually favored to score in this game, but only slightly, so not enough to like justify betting. And then we can look at Tyreek Hill. They don't even have lines posted yet for Tyreek Hill. But hey, we have 2 good touchdown bets. So it's like, okay, let's go back here. And let's see, what else are you recommending to me on PrizePicks? So this first play seems quite good, right? If we go here, so this is for tonight, right? Penguins game. Under 3.5 shots on goal. So seems like the most random slip of all time, but hey, if that's where the value is. So you're going to see like all the books have his line heavily favored to go under, minus 150 on Bet Online. So the strategy doesn't change depending on the sports you're betting on, right? Like if you go through the math behind PrizePicks, you'll see all you got to do to be profitable is win these over-unders, right? Just like this one. If you can win these picks, you need a real advantage. But if you can win these picks 55% of the time, only losing 45% of your picks, you're going to be profitable. This is a fixed payout platform, PrizePicks. They don't change your payout based on the picks you select. So it all just boils down to what percentage of your picks can you win. And if you win over 54.25% of your player props, you're going to be profitable. So you can see, like, first of all the sports books have them heavily favored to go under 3.5 right here. But most books, actually, you may be like, oh, where's DraftKings? Where's all that other crap? Is if you look at him, most books actually have his line at 2.5 shots on goal. But anyways, we got a good play to go with. So then we can look for, we got Crowney over 1.5. So let's go here. And then we can just lock in some League of Legends plays. Because again, the optimal slip type on PrizePicks, you don't want to play these 3-pick entries. They only give you a 5x payout. Whereas if you look at like one of their competitors, Underdog Fantasy, we actually have a pretty good looking play from last night. It's 100 to win 600. It's a 6x payout. So it does matter on these platforms like, how many picks are, we going with? So Slater, this play I don't want to go with. And the reason I don't want to is screw that. It's still a really good play, but I got him over 1. Okay. Now you can see if we go to Slater, his line is bumped up to 1.5. So it's still a good play. Other books have his line higher. But again, like I already got it over 1. So why really dabble? So we can take this play on Chasey again. So we can take him under 2. And again, like I would bet more on these PrizePicks plays, but they only give me a $25 max bet size. So maybe we just lock this in. Little bit 5-pick flex play, quick live stream. That's all I got for now. There's not a ton of other value on PrizePicks. There are a lot of good bets. Again, like lines ripping towards USC. Fliff is screwing up still offering this line at minus 120. Like all the other books, Pinnacle, extremely sharp sports book, they have this line all the way at minus 155. So this seems like a good play to go with as well, but maybe we can do Fliff in another live stream. So anyways, thanks so much for your time.